Hi everyone, welcome to Philosophy 110, Section 004. I'll be your instructor this semester. My name is Dr. Paul Dorado. Feel free to call me whatever you'd like, Paul, Dr. Dorado, Professor, whatever. So the goal of today's video is just to welcome everyone to the course and give you a little bit of rundown about what the course is going to look like. Given all of the oddity, hence this video being made in the first place, that we're going to be dealing with this semester, I figured it was a good idea to just give everyone a little bit of an introduction to what the class is going to look like. This first video will be followed up by a second one a little bit later that will actually discuss the course content. You know, what sort of things should you expect us to be discussing in a logic class? Why might you think logic and critical thinking are important? Those kinds of things. So the more interesting issues. We'll address those after this first video. This first video is just going to be the sort of, introduction to the class. First thing I just want to say, a lot of freshmen in this class, so I want to welcome you to CSU. Odd semester, things are going to be a little bit different this semester than they hopefully will normally be throughout your academic career. If you find yourself, whether you're a freshman or not, having any questions about anything relating to either this class or just the university as a whole, please don't hesitate to ask me. Consider me a resource. My only objective in this entire class is to help you all succeed, and that for all of us to sort of, end the semester healthy and a little bit wiser, perhaps, than we started. So, consider me a resource. You can contact me during our in-class sessions. You can talk to me by email. I also have office hours. Those office hours are going to be held online this semester using Zoom. And they'll be Tuesdays and Thursdays from 10 o'clock to 11. But I'm also available by appointments. So if those times don't work, feel free to get in touch with me and we can arrange a different meeting time. This class is going to utilize what is called a hybrid structure. What that means is I'm going to divide you up into groups, and each of those groups I'm going to meet with you during one day a week. So this class meets Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Group 1 will meet on Mondays. Group 2 will meet on Wednesdays. Group 3 will meet on Fridays. So I'll see all of you once a week, but it won't be the same day. There are some advantages to this structure. On the one hand, it means that the class sizes are going to be pretty small when we do meet, so we'll be able to really sort of hone in and focus on the particular problems that each of those groups is having. The disadvantage of it is that we're only going to meet once a week. Right? Or at least I'm only going to see each of you once a week. And so it's going to be really important that we make really good use of that day. Right? That we sort of maximize the short class time that we have, and also really important that you do the sort of preparatory work that'll be needed so that we can make really good use of our class time together. Right? There are going to be a fair amount of out-of-class expectations of you in this class, and that's because we only meet one day a week. Here's how it'll work. There's sort of be 3 phases to our weeks. First, we'll have sort of a pre-class phase. So you'll be seeing a bunch of videos like this. There'll be modules on Canvas that you'll be able to use and follow to sort of see what's due before the next class session. So before each class session, there'll be videos, 1, maybe 2, maybe 3, depending on the week. You'll watch those videos, and they'll look just like this, and you will then do a short quiz based on each video. Now, the nice thing about these quizzes, they're intended to just make sure you sort of are grasping some of the basic concepts of what got discussed in the videos. You'll be able to take the quizzes as many times as you'd like, and you'll be told if you got the answer right or wrong. Right? So, add those 2 things together, perfect scores for everyone who does them. Right? And indeed, that's the goal. These quizzes are worth 10% of the grade. Right? Their goal is to ensure that you get certain basic concepts down quickly. Take them as many times as you want. Do that prior to coming to class. Then during our class section, that'll be sort of the in-class portion. Right? During the class sessions, what we'll do is we'll go over problems together based on the material that was covered in the video. So you'll all get as handouts each class session, and we'll go through a series of problems that are listed on those handouts. We'll do this together. Right? Again, we're doing it together, so unless I screw up, you're all going to get perfect scores on these in-class assignments too. Now, indeed, these in-class assignments will be worth 20% of the total course grade. So that's 30% of the total course grade you'll get a perfect score on, basically just by showing up and doing the work. The purpose of the in-class assignments, the activities and the problems that we work through as a group, they look exactly like the problems that you'll see on homework and that you'll see on exams. So we'll practice these problems together collectively. You'll go through some examples of doing them right. Then, in the third phase, the after-class portion, then you can do homework problems on your own to make sure you're actually mastering the material. And then there'll be a series of exams throughout the semester, maybe 7 or 8, I'm guessing. It depends a little bit on how quickly we move. But these exams will be relatively short, about 30 minutes each. They'll be after each major unit in the course. So after each unit, you'll do one of the exams. The problems on the exam will look exactly like the homework problems I give you, and will be exactly like the problems that we worked on together in class. Okay? That exam will be worth 70% of the total course grade. That's the lion's share of your grade will be there. There'll be online Canvas, open note, open book, use any resources you like, but you just have to do them by yourself. I mentioned homework problems. I'm not going to be able to actually grade your homework assignments directly. There's just too many of you. I wouldn't be able to get the answers back to you quickly enough for it to be useful. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to give you answer sheets that you can utilize to check your work. Make sure you're doing a good job with them. And then if you find yourself with additional questions, right, then it'd be a good opportunity to come to my office hours and make an appointment with me to sort of hammer out whatever's still giving you some difficulties. So we've got one required textbook for the course, Reason in the Balance, an Inquiry Approach to Critical Thinking. Okay? This textbook, it's not cheap exactly, but it's at least cheap compared to the standards of a lot of logic textbooks. I know you will have to spend an exorbitant amount. I found used copies for this one going between 40 and 50 bucks. It's about as good as I could find. This book is going to be required. There are digital versions of it available, so if you prefer digital, feel free to use that and acquire the book in that format. The book is going to be required. It's not going to be the only thing we use. I will supplement it with PDFs from other books, other materials that I want to cover. But it's a best textbook I found, at least. I've never found a textbook that I absolutely loved, but this is the closest. This is the best textbook that I found for the way I want to go about approaching the course. So make sure you get that textbook as quickly as possible. Each unit of the course will roughly correspond with a chapter in the textbook, though it might vary a little bit, particularly early on. Some of the chapters are pretty short, so I might combine a few of them. I'm not going to be directly taking attendance for the in-class sessions, but if you're not there, you're not going to be able to turn in the group activities that we work on collectively. I will do excused absences if you miss one for a good reason. I'm usually pretty tolerant about what counts as a good reason. You'll be able to make up the material if you get your absence excused. Otherwise, you won't be able to turn in any work that you miss. Let's talk about some of the coronavirus restrictions and procedures that we're going to follow in the course in an effort to try to keep everyone as safe as possible. The reason why we're only meeting once a week is because of the coronavirus. It'll allow us to keep class sizes pretty small. So, we'll only have 12 people. We'll be able to keep a good distance between everyone who is in the room at a given time. We're also going to need to all make sure we bring in masks, university required policy, right? You're not going to go if everyone doesn't bring a mask with you. Got any questions, please get in touch with me. But again, this is university-wide policy. There are also going to be a series of in-class procedures we're going to have to follow each day to sort of sanitize the classrooms. We'll go over those on the first day of class. There's a university video that I think I'll link to in the Canvas module, and we'll also probably watch it on the first day of class as well. Now, if anyone has a documented disability that requires any kind of accommodations, be it related to the coronavirus or related to anything else, happy to make any accommodation you need. So what you'll need to do, if you haven't already done so, make sure you get a letters of accommodation from the Disabilities Resource Center. If you don't already have one of these letters, there's instructions on the syllabus about how to go about it. But yeah, get that to me as soon as possible. I'm happy to make any accommodations. I mean, this semester as a whole, right? I mean, maybe even more so than usual. We're all just going to need to be flexible. I'm going to try to be as flexible in accommodating your needs, and I also will ask for the same flexibility in accommodating any changes or curveballs the semester throws at us. Alright, I think that does it for all of the sort of course introductory stuff that I wanted for us to make sure to talk about. For those of you who are freshmen, welcome to CSU. To those of you who are returning, welcome back to CSU. We're going to be a little bit of a different semester, obviously, but my goal is going to be for us to make it as good a semester as possible, and sort of address some real interesting material, I hope, as we sort of go throughout. So that's it for this little introductory video. Now let's turn to a far more interesting video, which should be the next one on your feed within the course module. This video is actually going to be talking a little bit about what logic actually is, what critical thinking actually is, and why you might think those things are actually important. So now we can actually get to the fun stuff, actually get to the learning of the material. All right, bye.